going on, everybody? My name is Zero, and welcome to another movie review, this time for Venom, There Be Carnage. Oh man, I went into this movie with high expectations, and I think that's a fault on my part. Now, this review may be short. I'm only going to talk about the key characters, which are Eddie Brock, Venom, Claudius Cassidy, and Carnage. I'm not going to talk about any other side characters, because, well, this movie, it's a Venom movie, so it's about these characters, and Let There Be Carnage. We're bringing Carnage into the mix, and it's about this character as well. So I want to focus on these two specifically. When I walked into this movie, I was under the impression that it was going to have a darker tone, since it's dealing with one of Marvel's most villainous, most terrifying and sadistic characters, like Carnage. Like, this guy is a straight up killer. He kills just for the joy of it. So I thought this movie was going to have a darker tone. But no, it didn't. It continued with the comedic tone that it had from the previous Venom film, and I enjoyed it, but there were parts where I felt like they were pushing it a little bit too much. So I did notice that getting to me a little bit. Talking about the previous movie, Tom Hardy does come back to reprise his role as Eddie Brock. And of course, if you didn't know before, Tom Hardy also does the voice of Venom. So we get to see again Tom Hardy shine in his portrayal as Eddie Brock, and I think he does a great job playing this character. I think he does a great job with the voice work for Venom. But again, there are times in the film where I just feel as if they're pushing a little too hard with some of the comedy that they're going for, or if they're trying to have a dramatic moment. I didn't really feel it as much because it was covered over with this comedic tone. Now, I don't want this to sound like I'm putting a bad rep on the movie. I really did enjoy it, but I can confidently say that I enjoyed the first installment of the Venom films. I enjoyed that one a lot more than I enjoyed this one. The main reason for that, it heavily lies in how they handled Claudius Cassidy and Carnage. Eddie Brock and Venom, we got to see how their bond, how their relationship grew from the first film to this film. We see more of their relationship. We see how much trouble they can cause each other, but they kind of have a bromance going on. They love each other. They care for each other. They can't be without the other one. And I think that's pretty cool, the way that they portrayed that in the film. But being a comic book nerd and knowing how Claudius Cassidy and Carnage relationship is, I feel like it could have been handled a lot better. So now we're moving on to Woody Harrelson's portrayal of Claudius Cassidy. While I was watching the film, I found myself to enjoy the character of Claudius Cassidy more when he was behind prison bars as to when he was out and about on his own. Because you didn't get to really see that much of his sadistic side. And again, this probably goes into the fact that this is a PG-13 movie. If this movie was rated R, I feel like they could have done so much more, but I'll talk a bit more on that later. Yeah, so I really didn't feel like they showed the sadistic side of Claudius Cassidy. He just felt like a regular criminal who committed some crimes and was put behind bars. And now we bring Carnage into the mix, and holy cow, I never thought I'd see the day where Carnage is in a film alongside Venom. I never even thought I'd see the day when I'd see a film with Venom in it, but then Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 brought us that version of Venom. It wasn't received too well, and now we have this version of Venom that is kind of sticking more to comic accuracy. But speaking about comic accuracy, and just as I was talking about the relationship that Venom and Eddie Brock share with each other, I had an issue with the way the relationship was dealt with between Carnage and Claudius Cassidy. In the comics, there is a distinguishable difference between these two symbiotes and these two characters of Eddie Brock and Claudius Cassidy. Eddie Brock and Venom, when they are combined together in the symbiote, or as Venom, they say we are Venom, we are this, we do this, we like this, because they still show that they are two separate beings. But Claudius Cassidy and Carnage, their relationship is much different. For them, it's I did this, I am doing this, I want to kill you, I'm going to do this. Because that is how close their bond is. These two people, these two things are completely psychotic, chaotic, crazy beings. And they thrive off of each other. They are Carnage. Claudius Cassidy is Carnage, and Carnage is Claudius Cassidy. But in this film, the way that Carnage was portrayed with his relationship with Claudius Cassidy, I felt like there was too much conflict. And if you're gonna go watch this movie, and if you're not a comic book fan and you didn't grow up reading or seeing these characters in comic books or in cartoon shows, then you probably won't understand what I'm going for. This is coming from somebody who has read about this character, who has watched this character in cartoon adaptations, seen various different forms of the character of Carnage. But I do not want that to take away from the fact that when Carnage is on screen, he is a straight up killer. Like, this is somebody that you want to be scared of. I did like that. I enjoyed the action scene so much, and when Venom and Carnage fight each other, it is chaotic, it is fast, it is brutal, and I love that. I think that is something that they definitely stepped up from the previous movie. So again, I said that I mainly wanted to talk about the two main characters, which are Venom, Eddie Brock, and Claudius Cassidy as Carnage. And I don't really know how I feel about this movie. I think I need to sit on it a little bit more, or maybe give it a second watch so that I can have a better opinion. But as of right now, I came out of it thinking, you know, this was a weird movie in a good way. It wasn't great to me. It wasn't that great. I think it was definitely overhyped because of all the Spider-Man news that's coming out, and people just want anything Spider-Man related, and Venom is totally Spider-Man related. But yeah, again, I can say that I definitely enjoyed the first installment of Venom much more than I enjoyed the second one. And I did have a good time in the theater with this film, but again, I feel like they could have done so much more if Venom Let There Be Carnage was a rated R film instead of PG-13, so that we can really see what Carnage can do. We can see the maximum carnage that he can bring. I definitely recommend that you guys can go watch this movie in theater whenever you get the chance. For this one, I wouldn't say that it's urgent to go watch, but definitely watch it if you have the chance. Now that I've talked about the movie and I gave my little review on it, I am going to be talking about some spoilers from the film, and these are major spoilers, specifically from the end credit scenes. So if you don't want to hear anything spoiler-wise, go ahead and click off of this video right now. Okay, so now that you've been warned about spoilers, let's go ahead and talk about the post-credit scene that happened. So again, like I was saying, I had a good time in this film. It wasn't great. It's not. I didn't find it better than the first Venom movie, but I still had a good time watching it. But something that really made up for it was the post-credit scene. We see Eddie Brock and Venom get taken into a new universe, and that is the universe that has Tom Holland's Spider-Man. The post-credit scene gives us a little shot of Venom and Eddie Brock watching TV, and then they suddenly get sucked into a different reality. On the TV that they were watching, it was the Daily Bugle news, but now from Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe. And it shows Spider-Man unmasked, revealing his secret identity that he is Peter Parker. And then we get some weird thing with Venom where he looks at the TV and he goes, "This guy," and he licks the screen. So I don't know what Venom's interest is in Spider-Man, but it did show that there is an interest. Now, I have no idea what this means for Venom now being in the MCU, Venom now being potentially in Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know if he's going to be the sixth member of the Sinister Six. I don't know if he's even going to be a villain to Spider-Man or if he's going to be an ally. But one thing I can just think of is after watching this movie and the previous Venom movie, the way that these symbiotes fight, the way that they are just so brutal and chaotic and aggressive, I have no idea how Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to even take on this version of Venom. If there was a fight between these two characters, my money is on Venom. I haven't seen anything from this version of Spider-Man to make me believe that he can pull off winning a battle against something like this. I can't see it from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man because he did fight Venom, and I can totally see him going toe-to-toe with this version of Venom, and I can also see Andrew Garfield's version of Spider-Man going toe-to-toe with this version of Venom. But for some reason, I cannot see, we haven't been given anything to show us that Tom Holland's Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man, I haven't seen anything that proves that he can go toe-to-toe with this version of Venom. So if I don't know what type of a role Venom is going to be playing, or if he's even going to come out in Spider-Man Far From Home, but now we do have concrete proof, all thanks to this post-credit scene, that Venom is now in Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe. Alrighty guys, so that wraps up my review for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Again, I had a good time watching it. I definitely enjoyed the first film more. If you all do get a chance to watch the movie, I want to know what your thoughts are on this film. Let me know what you all think, because you all are definitely going to have a different opinion than I do, and I want to know down in the comments below what you think of the Venom movie. Don't forget to hit the like button down below if you enjoyed this video and if you're looking forward to more reviews. And most importantly, do not forget to subscribe and join the Zero Nation. I'll catch you all in the next video. Later!